Alright, I'm going to give a quick tutorial on how to use the custom game editor. So let's go to it, and the first thing, you get a list of the built-in game types. These you can't edit, but you can duplicate them if you want to see how they work, which is a good idea to learn how these are made and see some more advanced features. But for now I'm just going to create a new one, so I'll do that. And then you can see the default game type is just gray blocks, and they don't do anything. You can see if I make a whole row here, it won't do anything. So, and then when you click preview, it resets the game with the changed settings. So the first thing I'll do is I'll name it new game, and then let's see, I'll create a new block. So go to the block designer, and then you can see that it has a default block now, which is just the gray square. And let's change that. Let's make it my new block. And it's got a square sprite and a gray color. So let's change this to purple. And let's see what happens. Okay, so now all of our pieces are single blocks with purple color. And if we go to the piece designer, you can see that the actual piece is a single block piece. So I could change this. Let's say that we want 2 blocks in our piece. So I go to block placement and rotation. First of all, I'll rename this the 2 block piece. And then I'll click edit. And you can see that if I click on the rotation, there's a single block, and that's the piece. So let's make it 2 blocks. And then if I won't be able to rotate it because it only has 1 rotation. So if I save and close, and you can see that it reset the preview. So if I press rotate, it doesn't do anything because it needs rotations. So let's go back into there, and let's add some more rotations. Let's do this, and then this, and then this. And now you can see that I can rotate it. So let's go back. Alternatively, there are presets built in. So let's select one of those. This 2 block rotate around 0, 0 is basically the same thing that I just made. Well, it's a little bit different. It starts off in a different place. But you can see that it acts very much the same. So if I want, I can delete these, and maybe I want to make it rotate diagonally instead of just 4 rotations. Let's do this. Let's see what that looks like. Interesting. Okay, so then let's go back to our block designer, and let's give this another color. Let's give it green. And now you can see that the pieces are randomly generated with these 2 colors. So the piece is populated with the blocks from here. So let me make another block. This one I'm going to call circle block. And I'm going to give it a circle sprite. And I'm going to give it red and yellow for the colors. Let's see what that looks like. So now you see we've got pieces that are randomly made from both of these 2 blocks. But what if I want the piece to have only squares and only circles? So I would first of all select this one and go to override block types and choose this one here. So now you can see the piece is being created only with the squares. And then So it's actually ignoring the circle block that we made. So a default piece would select from all of the blocks. And it's actually all of the blocks that have this checked, use in normal pieces, and I set that to default. But if you want to create a block type that is only set in the playing field block, so it's kind of a hazard, and I'll make this one cyan, and I'll give it a let's see here, let's give it this sprite, Sparkball, and let's uncheck use in normal pieces and check use as playing field filler. So you'll see nothing happens yet because I haven't specified to fill the playing field. So if I do that, if I go to the game settings, somewhere in here, I see randomly fill grid. And let's see what that looks like. There we go. So now I've filled the grid with these hazard pieces, but I haven't, oh okay, so they fall with gravity, but I haven't, I don't make pieces using this type. So these are playing field only, you see, because uses playing field filler is checked. So let's go back to the piece designer and let's make another piece. And I'm going to call this one circle piece. And I'm going to select just the circle. And you can see, oh, this piece only has one block, so let's fix that. I'll load the preset for 2 blocks, save and close. So now we have a piece that's made of 2 blocks, or 2 circles, and a piece that's made of 2 squares. And you can see that the piece that uses the 2 circles is randomly populated with the colors assigned to that circle block. Let's rename some of these square block. Okay. Looks good to me. So now let's make a setting. Let's see, is there a gravity option yet? It seems that I haven't made a... Oh yeah, there is one. Only move down disconnected blocks. Let's see what that does. Okay, so that made our piece stick together. Only move down, okay. Is it in the block that you ignore gravity? I think it is. Or it must be in the piece. Let's see. Oh, ignore when moving down blocks. I should give that a gravity tag. So now you can see gravity won't be applied to these. Okay. So, pretty good. You can see these are kind of coming up too high here, so I'm going to set that to, where is that? Here it is. Let's start at 6. And there we go. You can see now there are 6 spaces between the start of this. Alright, so let's give it some rules. Let's say that we want to match 4 in a row, and we want it to be, we'll use rows, columns, and diagonal. So now the point of the game is to match 4 colors, and if I could put one more red right here, that would do it. Or one more green right here. Let's put a green diagonally right there, and you could see that it made the diagonal match there. Alright, so now I'm going to save this. And it's a good idea to save frequently because a lot of these options aren't compatible, and I haven't tested them yet, so it might crash. And when you save the game, it saves into app data or home, Bob Corporation, bobsgame. So you could find your files in there, they're XML, and you could share those with other people and they can play them. And also, when you play network games, it shares the game as well. And I'll put in features for uploading and downloading games. That'll come soon. Pretty interesting. Alright, that's my tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I'm going to rename this one to 2 square piece. And I'm going to rename this one to 2 circle piece. Okay. Pretty good. Save.